Your grin says a lot. You must be delighted with that second half performance in particular.
I'm delighted with the win, with the way we played after the first 25 minutes, which I think in the first period we have some difficulties. Obviously, they are really physical, they are really well organized, to be fair, and they are really difficult to play through. You look at the games, the goals they have conceded, they weren't when they are in the deep block, but once we scored the first goal, I think the game unlocked. We started to get much better rhythm, attack much better spaces, much better organization as well, to don't allow them to run, and we deserve to win the game.
Yeah, patience did prove to be key, didn't it, tonight? That first 40 minutes until you got the breakthrough goal, it was not a mad 5 minutes before half-time, but the game completely broke open in that 5 minutes. But until then, as you say, Everton very organised, and you had to bide your time and wait for your chance.
And what Sean and the coaching staff do defensively is extremely good. You know, there's a lot of things to learn from the discipline that they have, the organisation they have, how they help each other in certain areas of the pitch. Really, really good, to be fair. But we needed a magic moment, and Bukayo produced that with Alex to the first goal. And after that, I think we grow and grow on the game, and we deserve to win the game.
Yeah, the second goal, a big moment as well, right on half-time, giving you that little bit of elbow room at 2-0 after the VAR call.
Yes, and especially with them, you know, the way they play and how good they are on direct play, second balls, producing set pieces. A short score is not enough because they can get in the game straight away. But I think we played really well the second half, and we could have scored more.
Yeah, can you enjoy a second half performance like that in the moment, in real time, or are you so focused on the touchline that it almost passes you by?
No, I am obviously delighted when I see the team play the way we want to play, and scoring goals and creating chance after chance. But you're doing that as well. You want to recognize certain players and give them minutes. You want to maintain the level and score more if possible. You are thinking as well, okay, how do I rest certain players for Saturday? So it's a lot in your mind.
Do you see the team effectively growing in many ways, almost week by week, in dealing with these situations, dealing with the pressure, finding ways to win, performing well in this sort of situation? Because obviously your team are the favourites to win tonight, but you still have to go out there and do it.
Yeah, and this league, that's a different story, and we had a big proof of that when we played at Goodison. And this team played at Anfield, and they made it really difficult for Liverpool as well. So we knew that, so really pleased with the performance, the maturity and the quality.
Well, we said at the start of the night, Michael, that Arsenal might have to be patient. They certainly didn't hit all cylinders in the first 40 minutes, did they?
No, they didn't. No, that's fair to say, Steve. I wouldn't say desperation, but they were starting to cross balls high into the box, and I'm sure that wasn't in Mikel Arteta's game plan. But as soon as they started passing the ball and keeping it on the ground, they prized Everton open at the first real proper attempt, I think. And then once they did that, it was all over. I mean, they ran riot and went 4-0 up eventually, and 4-0 winners. Really interesting goal. I thought it was the pick of the bunch as well, this first goal, Leon. And you spotted something early on in the piece as well with the defensive setup.
I did. Yeah, just the fact that, highlight Michael Keane here, because, I mean, you spoke before the game about the importance of the opposition just keeping their back four in line and not allowing somebody just to drift into the space. And just in this moment, Michael Keane just gets attracted into that position, and in doing so, he opens up that gap. If Arsenal could have figured out a way of getting in there, I'm sure they would. But Martinelli shows really good patience in moving across, drifting this ball across into the wide area. And once Michael Keane gets back, him and James Tarkowski in this moment have swapped positions, and suddenly James Tarkowski, which he has a natural tendency to do, he covers in behind Mykolenko really, really well. And once Michael Keane gets into that position, he doesn't do that as effectively, and Arsenal took full advantage of that.
Yeah, and I love the way that this then finished in terms of Sakho. You can see his hands, he's asking for the ball, he's wanting it in this situation. He's fully aware of everything that's around him. Mykolenko's on the wrong side of him, but he knows that he's his biggest danger, and I love the way he turns. He uses his body to get between the ball and the man, and then the finish is exquisite with his right foot.
And just how good was that finish from Bukayo Saka?
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, as Michael said, the awareness of him positionally, the awareness of him spotting that Martinelli had come into a wide position, taking up a position himself in between a full-back and a centre-half. having himself on the half turn and then taking the ball on the back foot, scooping it around with him so that Mykolenko had no way of even attempting to win the ball back. And from there, a couple of options to finish. He went for power, and power was the right choice. It gave goalkeeper no chance. And Arsenal had not necessarily struggled up to that point, but hadn't been the smooth system that we'd known. But goals change games. Players score wonderful goals, and that was a brilliant opener.
Yeah, and that then gave them the confidence to go on to score 4 goals eventually. I mean, this is the second goal, Steve, and it came from out wide, out on the left-hand side eventually, and it was the goal really that killed the game. Sorry, it came from the right-hand side, and it was Saka again that was instrumental in it with his closing down. And the offside decision is quite interesting actually, because the man is just in front of the ball, but a man in front of the man, actually, but he's not in front of the ball. So that's why it was onside, and a lovely finish from Martinelli.
So just for quickly reference from that first goal, put Bukayo Saka's finish into words for me.
Well, right foot into the top near top corner. It was a lovely finish. I mean, he went for power. It was probably the only part of the goal, actually, that was impossible to save. So, yeah, lovely finish.
High praise from a Golden Boot winner. Do you not think, Bukayo?
Yeah, thank you very much for that.
How important was that goal at that time?
Yeah, it was vital because, like you said, it was really difficult first 30, 40 minutes, trying to get the breakthrough, and they were defending so well. So, yeah, to take that chance and then get another one with Gabby to put us 2-0 up was really good for us going in at half-time. And
what's your version of that finish? You didn't have much of the goal to aim at?
No, I didn't. I just went, like you said, I went for power and high because, obviously, from that distance, I think that's the best option, and yeah, it worked this time.
Bukayo, brilliant finish. I just want to ask you about the first touch and your body position, actually, to get you into that position. Were you aware that Mykolenko was probably your danger and you had to protect the ball with your body, taking the touch like that?
Yeah, definitely. I knew, obviously, he was on my side, and if I could turn away from him in a position where he could only touch me, if he touched me, it would be a penalty. So, I knew that I was past him and I had time to set myself, and obviously it's my right foot, so I need extra yard to set myself and, yeah, get the finish away.
Bukayo, how confident are you as a team? Because, as you just mentioned, Everton frustrated you for 40 minutes. But when you look around the pitch and see who's playing alongside you, there are real moments of quality and ability that you can all call upon at any moment. It was you that scored the opening goal tonight. But how much confidence does it give you looking around and see what's on the pitch?
Yeah, definitely. I have a lot of confidence in my team. We've been in this situation many times this season, and we know, in situations like this, we have to just keep trying. Look at, for example, in this case, it's our left back popping up in this position, giving me a through ball. So everywhere you look in this team, there's quality, and yeah, I can really feel confident in this team.
And you're smiling. It looks like the whole team at the moment are playing with a smile on their face. You can see that in your football, Bukayo.
Yeah, definitely. For me, that's the reason I started football. So, yeah, I just have to always enjoy it. Otherwise, what's the point?
And how important was that second half with the goals to get the emphatic scoreline in the end?
Yeah, it was really important, and you could see the confidence we were playing, how it generated with the fans. The fans were buzzing with it. So I think it gives us a big boost, coming back here on Saturday against Bournemouth, that we have the big belief we can do something like this again. And everyone was talking about your game in hand tonight. You can see the table there. You've won it. You're 5 clear. 13 games to go. Not much to say about that. We have to just focus on the next one.
We got a laugh out of him as opposed to a smile, so that's enough.
Listen, we enjoyed your performance tonight. Great to speak to you.
Thank you. Good to speak to you too.
Well played.
Thank you, Bukayo.
All right, take care.
That was fascinating to hear about his finish there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great finish. It really was. But, just striking the ball and it going in the top corner, lots of people can do it, but it's how people get into those positions that fascinate me. Because if you do the wrong thing in the lead up to that goal, you don't even get the chance in the first place. You get tackled or whatever. But his first touch, his second touch, almost in one movement, then set up the chance. It was a lovely strike.
Another unbelievable season for him. He's into double figures, Bukayo Saka, for the season. Stay with us. Stands at the top of the Premier League. They lead Everton by 2-0. 2 shots on target. 2 goals. And prior to that, 40 minutes, Everton had frustrated the leaders.
Absolutely. We were thinking Everton have got them really on the hook here. They were looking dangerous with their counter-attacks. Arsenal hardly had any chances. And in fact, we saw a few occasions where they started getting a little bit desperate and playing totally into Everton's hands. crossing the ball high into the box is absolute meat and drink for this Everton team, and that's what they resorted to doing eventually. And it was only when they started getting the ball down late on in the half, Leon, that they started causing Everton problems.
Yeah, we thought Everton would be on the back foot, Arsenal would be stretching them, and as you said, Everton actually had to defend crosses because they were well organised, and Everton started to break forward pretty well, lacked a bit of composure in the crucial moments, but you thought Arsenal were getting to half-time, Mikel Arteta would have a bit to say to him, and Sean Dyche would have been really pleased, but changed in a moment.
Yeah, 40-minute mark.
Yeah. I mean, Everton held out for a decent amount of time, but then it was a real bit of quality that broke the deadlock. Lovely passing game. Everything that you associate Arsenal with. They probed, they tried going in, they were looking, and then eventually a little gap opened, and they exploited it. Brilliant finish. Absolute brilliant finish with Saka's right foot.
From Everton's point of view, Leon?
Well, from both teams' point of view, I think it was really interesting to see. I'll just run this on slowly. Zinchenko, we've seen him so many times come across the field, and Michael was talking before the game about Arsenal trying to get a striker into these type of positions, trying to entice an Everton defender in, and it hadn't happened that often in the first half. But this was the first time an Everton defender stepped out. It's Michael Keane. He steps in, he tracks Martinelli a little bit, and in that moment, he just finds he swaps positions with Tarkowski, and because of that, suddenly he's on the wrong side of the field. You don't believe how different that is. Suddenly, again, he's thinking about things that are ahead of him rather than the covering your fullback, which naturally you do on your own side of the field, and Arsenal took advantage of it, Michael.
100%. You make a great point in terms of them switching, and then all of a sudden, he's already come out once.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's then interested in this player. This is an issue as well over here, which is why he's not getting close to Saka. And all of a sudden, Michael Keane doesn't believe Saka is the problem. When we run it on slowly, have a look at this. The ball is halfway there. Michael Keane's still on his front foot here, picking up this guy, and all of a sudden, he's there. Odegaard.
I mean, Michael Keane has to be in a position to be able to cover that. He can't step out. But from there, Michael, I mean, what a touch and finish.
Well, I just want to final bit on this. Saka, he can go one of two ways, can't he? He can either take it on his left foot, or what he's done here, he realises Michael Keane is not even sniffing any danger. He's actually taken the touch. Watch the shape of his body. He gets his body between him and the danger man. The danger man being Mikalenko, is it?
Yeah. At no point did he give Mikalenko an opportunity to even had a flick at it, even get anything. It's so good from Bukayo Saka.
Protecting the ball like that is brilliant. Last minute, he decides, take it on my right foot, protect the ball, body between man and ball, and then nobody could get near him. And then what a finish. Probably the only part of the goal that he could score from that angle. Yeah,
so that was Saka scoring. Saka also involved in 2-0, which was an extremely tight call.
It was, but, I mean, having just conceded, you know, they say that the worst time when you're vulnerable is when you've just scored or you've just conceded. Well, you know, Everton had worked so hard for so long to get into this position. To then be caught in possession of the ball here from Idrissa Gueye is really, really poor. Brilliant from Arsenal, not letting him have a moment, kept pushing forward, and, you know, Bukayo Saka gets that touch of the ball. Martinelli is alive and puts it away brilliantly.
Yeah, and it wasn't... Of course, Martinelli's body was ahead, and I think that would have been offside in terms of where the bodies are, but we've got to remember where the ball is, and he's actually behind the ball, Steve, as the ball is played, and that's why he's onside.
And that's the way a Premier League game can change away from home against the leaders in the blink of an eye.
Yes, I mean, for all Everton's endeavour and all Everton's will to try their hardest, if you lack quality at both ends of the field, really, you'll get punished by teams that do, and Arsenal really do have really amazing quality. Turn the game on its head.
Yep, a tremendous 5.5 minutes. That's all it took for the leaders to turn.
Like to play in.
Yeah, it was really enjoyable. Obviously, the first 40 minutes was really difficult. You know, they defended really well, but, you know, once we got the breakthrough, and then in the second half, we played unbelievably well, and we could have scored even more.
Yeah, is patience key on nights like this?
Yeah, definitely, because we've had a few games like this, you know, and we're starting to learn. You know, we need to be patient, you need to be relentless, keep going, keep trying, and yeah, we'll get the breakthrough.
You didn't look as if you'd had much fun for the opening sort of 35, 40 minutes yourself. It was quite a big battle with Mikolenko, and they were doubling and trebling up on you every time the ball went near you. But then that one chance did come 5 minutes before the break, and it was in the back of the net in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, it was a good finish. My right foot, so happy with that one. But yeah, you know, in these games, I'm learning that, you know, you might only get one chance, and you know, you have to take it. So I'm happy I took it and we got the breakthrough. From then, you know, we had to score more goals.
And you had that bonus of the second goal right on half time. We had to wait for the decision on VAR. I wasn't quite sure which way that would go.
Yeah, I looked at Gabby. We both thought it was offside. So you know, when we found out it wasn't, you know, you could see the relief in our faces. So we were happy to go in at half-time 2-0 up.
And you played as a team in the second half as if the pressure was off, any handbrake was off. That must be great for you, playing at that level and dominating our match to that extent.
Yeah, obviously we were 2-0 up, so we didn't really have to break them down. They would obviously have to come out, so it was just about us keeping the ball and just waiting for the spaces to open, and when they did, we took the chances.
You look like a team that really believe.
Yeah, we do believe.
Well played today. Thank you.
Thank you.